German Chancellor Friedrich Merz is kicking off his first major Asia tour since taking office last May. Merz's first stop is India, where he'll meet with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. With global power dynamics shifting and the US seen as a less predictable partner, Germany and India are looking to each other to fill new strategic and geopolitical gaps. But what does New Delhi really want from Berlin? DW's Delhi Bureau Chief, Sandra Petersmann, reports.
Life buzzes at Connaught Place. It's the historic commercial and social heart of India's capital. For many here, India's relationship with Germany is mainly about business and technology transfer.
India is growing. We are still growing, and Germany is already established country. So there are a lot of advanced technology.
I am from construction line. All new construction technologies are from Germany. So German means innovation and new.
India can have lot of defense equipments and heavy engineering from Germany.
I mean, German technology considers as a brand.
India sees Germany as Europe's economic powerhouse. It wants more engagement and investment from Germany. More than 2,000 German companies already operate here, including heavyweights like Continental, Bosch and Mercedes-Benz. But there's plenty of room for more, as defense cooperation has only recently emerged as a major factor.
For India, Germany offers the chance to diversify and upgrade its military hardware, reducing its reliance on Russia. Germany has been hesitant to sell weapons to India, at least in part due to those close ties with Russia. But this has been changing, and India is increasingly seen as a trusted partner with shared values and strategic interests. Germany is now even willing to build submarines for India's navy in India.
Across the globe, alliances are under strain. Both India and Germany tread carefully when it comes to the United States under Donald Trump. Trump's foreign policy decisions, from punitive tariffs to Ukraine to Venezuela, have delivered rude awakenings for both Prime Minister Modi and German Chancellor Merz. But neither can do without US economic and military power.
Both India and Germany are aware of China's growing assertiveness, especially in the Indo-Pacific with its critical supply chains. Both want a rules-based multilateral world, not one carved up by Washington and Beijing, where might is right. That's why they are both keen to deepen what they already have.
But there are sticking points. For India, China is a direct security threat. The two Asian giants share a long contested border. For Germany, China remains its top trading partner, around 8 times as big as India. On the other hand, India maintains a close relationship with Russia, which poses the biggest security challenge to the European Union because of its invasion of Ukraine.
Despite those tricky points, Modi and Merz will be keen to show closeness and cooperation during this visit. Sources have told me that Modi's invitation to Merz to visit his home base in Gujarat rather than here in Delhi is a sign of appreciation. And Merz coming to India as Chancellor before visiting China is seen as symbolic. He also represents the European Union to a certain degree, and India and the EU are very likely to sign a bilateral trade agreement, 2 decades in the making, at the end of January.
At a time when the global order is losing its old certainties, India, Germany, and by extension the EU are more than partners of choice or convenience. In the era of Donald Trump, they simply need each other.
Thank you.
Well, for some analysis now, we can speak to Shairee Malhotra. She is Deputy Director at the Observer Research Foundation and joins us from New Delhi. Great to have you on DW News. So what does each leader hope to gain from this visit?
Well, thank you so much for having me on the program. Let me just start by saying that we've recently been seeing the Indo-German relationship move beyond its traditional economic focus, and defense and security are now emerging as important new drivers of cooperation. And I think one of the big items on the table during Chancellor Merz's current visit to India is to advance negotiations on a deal worth 8 billion euros to jointly manufacture submarines in India. For India, the submarine deal involves co-production of defense equipment, and therefore it's crucial because it not only supports India's defense modernization but also its indigenization goals, because it'll also involve tech transfers for submarine production. For Germany, I would say this deal is important because it helps wean India off its traditional dependence on Russian military equipment, while also enabling Germany to tap into India's lucrative defense market.
Right.
We know that Germany previously had stringent arms export laws, but these have been relaxed in tandem with the country's wider Zeitenwende following Russia's war in Ukraine. So really, I think ramping up the defense and security component of the relationship is certainly an important goal for both Prime Minister Modi and Chancellor Merz at this time.
What's your take on Merz visiting India before China?
Well, I think that's a great question. I think it's very significant. It's very symbolic that Chancellor Merz has chosen India as his first destination to visit in Asia since he took over in May 2025. Because we know that China has mostly remained the focus of German companies in Asia, of German foreign policy in Asia, given how intertwined German businesses have been with the Chinese market. But I would also say it's unsurprising because Germany has been trying to de-risk from China. It's been trying to diversify its trading partners because of wider EU-India tensions, which are very rampant at the moment due to China's unfair trade practices, as well as the massive trade deficits that many European countries such as Germany have with China. So India, of course, is a very large market, and therefore it's emerged at the top of this German diversification agenda, particularly as the German economy is in recession.
Where do both countries stand on the mobility of workers?
Well, I would say migration and mobility is certainly an area of complementarity between India and Germany. Germany has an aging population, it has a shortage of skilled manpower, and this is where India's technically skilled workforce could help plug this gap, which is why in 2022 the two sides did sign a migration and mobility partnership agreement where Germany had decided to grant 90,000 visas for Indian workers. So even when it comes to students, for instance, that Indian students make up the largest group in Germany. And I think going ahead, Germany may become an even more important education destination as the US imposes restrictions on Indian students. So I think it's really a win-win situation in this case, matching Germany's demographic decline and shortage of workers with India's demographic dividend.
Now, you mentioned the US there. What role does US President Donald Trump and the US's current foreign policy play in shaping the future of Indian-German relations?
Well, really, I would say Donald Trump's second presidency has been a major factor in India's current relations with Germany and the wider European Union. The transatlantic alliance, once considered the foundation of the rules-based global order, is currently under immense strain. India has also been slapped with tariffs of 50% due to its purchases of Russian oil. So you now have the situation where both EU-US relations as well as US-India relations are now in unprecedented flux. You also have other volatile policies of the current American administration, such as the actions in Venezuela, that have raised concerns globally about sovereignty, but have also reinforced doubts about US commitment to the Indo-Pacific theater, where Chinese assertiveness has been a concern for both India and Germany. So really, India's relations with the EU, with EU member states, are increasingly being viewed as a stabilizing factor in today's very volatile geopolitical reality, at the heart of which are pressures emanating from the second Trump administration.
Now, considering this, the geopolitical situation that we're experiencing at the moment with Vladimir Putin, the Russian president's recent visit, and of course an EU-India summit coming up, how is India managing the relationship with both?
Well, I would say, India's sort of in a sweet spot geopolitically at the moment because we do live in a very fragmented geopolitical and geoeconomic environment. As I mentioned, the old order, is literally crumbling, and therefore, for a lot of countries, strengthening relations with India is a stabilizing factor, because India is the world's fourth largest economy. It's a crucial player in global politics. It's also a prominent country in the global south, which Europe is currently courting, which is why the EU is keen to sign this free trade agreement with India now, because it would be the largest deal of its kind, opening up access to a growing market at a time when Europe's relations with both its top trading partners, the US and China, are fraying, and European economies are experiencing a slowdown. So really, Mayor's visit precedes this upcoming EU-India summit. And next month, in fact, we will also be hosting the French President Emmanuel Macron. So the EU is keen to deepen relations with India in the face of all this immense geopolitical uncertainty and pressures.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there, but great to get your analysis. Shairee Malhotra from the Observer Research Foundation in New Delhi. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.